Now, friends, here is Saul. He's just gotten back from a situation, and he gets word that David has been spotted in the desert of En-Gedi. And so he gathers 3,000 men, probably because he remembers what David did to Goliath, and said, here, let me have some show of force. I'm going to show up with 3,000 men. They go marching through the desert, looking for David, and all of a sudden, King Saul has a tension that gets his attention, right? His bladder is full, and he's got to use the little boy's room. And so he says, hey guys, if you could just hold on for a second, there's a cave over here. I'm going to go and relieve myself. And he walks into the cave. Now, watch what happens next. Take a look. It says, David and his men were far back in the cave. Now, friends, how ironic is this? The one cave that you decide to go and use the restroom in is the very same cave that David and his friends are hiding in. I mean, you can imagine how wild this must have been for David and his friends. Like, they're hiding in the back of this cave, and they hear this army. Oh, this has got to be King Saul and his army. And they're marching, you hear them, and then all of a sudden they stop. And about 30 seconds later, a figure walks into the cave. You see the silhouette. And as this man is walking closer into the cave, you all of a sudden realize, this is King Saul himself. You can imagine they were thinking, he's going to kill us. This is it. Our hiding is over with. And then King Saul does something strange. He stops, and he turns around, and he faces back out towards the entrance of the cave with his back towards David and the other guys, and he drops his drawers, and he relieves himself. Now, friends, think about this for a moment, okay? Don't picture it. Just think about it for a moment. King Saul is in a very vulnerable position, yes? I mean, at this point, he is a very easy target, right? You know, here's the thing. Actually, his friends, David's friends, they realized this. They realized that King Saul, they thought he was coming to kill him, and now he's using the restroom, and he's vulnerable and easy to attack. Take a look at what the men said to David. The men said, this is the day that the Lord spoke of when he said to you, I will give your enemy into your hands for you to deal with as you wish. Friends, can you imagine the excitement of David's friends when King Saul turns around and squats, right? Can you imagine? They're probably like, David, you remember when you were a teenager and that prophet Samuel came to your house and told you that you would be the next king of Israel? This is your moment. This is your chance. The Lord has delivered your enemy into your hands. All you have to do is creep up behind King Saul and kill him. Now, friends, this moment is very important for you and I to pay attention to, because as David is trying to figure out what he's going to do, notice what's happening. He has all these friends that are egging him on, trying to get him to make a decision right away, right now, immediately. You see, when you and I are in the midst of making decisions, sometimes there are external forces around us that are pushing us to make a decision quickly without actually taking the time to actually think it through. For example, when my brother and Elena and I, when we were standing there, when we saw the woman go down the alleyway and we stopped and we felt that tension, before we could even really think it through, what happened? The lady was like, come this way, right down, come on, the purses are right down here. You see, when you and I are making decisions, we have to be aware that sometimes we're going to experience external forces that are going to cause us to try and make a decision quickly, when in reality, we should take some time to actually think it through. Because, especially if the tension gets your attention, this can be very dangerous if we don't.